The debate over flock license plate readers is far from over, but one major decision has just been made in Leon County after commissioners voted to place a hold on funding for now.
Our Abrea Ruffin joins us with more. Abrea, what do residents here have to say about all this?
Well, Julie, that's what fueled this decision. I spoke to a resident who shared her relief when county commissioners voted to hold off on funding $400,000 to expand flock cameras in the Big Bend. County Commissioner Christian Caban says the county wanted to pause on moving forward and table the discussion until they are able to determine what they can regulate and what that means for the community. Now, it is important to note that Tuesday's vote does not remove cameras already operating in Leon County. Those will remain in place. This simply holds off on money that would expand flock cameras in areas outside of Leon County. One resident I spoke with shared what concerns she has about the tech and why she's pushing for more answers from law enforcement on what's happening behind the cameras.
They're cameras, and they have the ability to collect more data than maybe disclosed. It doesn't seem like there's a lot of transparency from the flock company about what they're collecting, how they process that, how they manage that, what security protections are in place, who has access to that.
Leon County Sheriff's Office released a statement saying in part, quote, law enforcement uses license plate readers as an investigative and public safety tool. They can help locate wanted or missing persons, vehicles connected to serious crimes, amber or silver alerts, and more. They are not used to issue citations. LCSO does not support any electronic monitoring inappropriately compromising the privacy of citizens. Caban tells me they will have that full report that we mentioned in September. For now, live in Leon County, Abrea Ruffin, WCTV Eyewitness News.
Okay, Abrea, we'll see where it goes from here.